Okay, so thanks for checking out the channel. I've had a couple requests for a video kind of doing a walkthrough of the Skinny Guy camper. I've already got a video of me, well, a time-lapse video of me opening up the camper, kind of showing it takes about 10-15 minutes to get the camper set up. That's not including bedding or sleeping bags, whatever you have there, but that's going to kind of depend upon what you want for it. Getting it up to this point, though, only takes about 10, maybe 15 minutes, depending on how used to you are, or used to it you are. Size-wise, I mean, the camper stands about already 5 feet above the cab of the truck. It is susceptible to wind, or at least high-speed winds, but it's not that bad. Right now we're in some tree cover, so you're not going to feel any movement of the tent. You'll see the flaps sort of wafting through the wind, but I don't think it's any better or worse than any other rooftop tent that's out there. Inside, I'll go ahead and climb in. We have the sleeping area right over here. I think this is supposed to be a thermal protectant. I've not found it to provide any sort of warmth or shielding from having cold air below you. I'll probably leave it in, but the mattress itself, I've actually taken over to Roam Rest to have them put in different foam and then actually rebuild it. What Skinny Guy gives you is pretty much just like packing foam. It's not even any sort of bedroll or mattress foam that's out there, and then the sheet that's wrapped around it, it's pretty much just that. It's pretty much a bed sheet with a zipper on the back, so it doesn't have any sort of water wicking properties or anything else that's going to keep moisture out of the mattress or out of the sheet, which is a problem. In any tent, you're going to have a little bit of condensation that builds up, and it's going to run down the side of the tent and usually onto your bedding or your sleeping bags or something else. And given the fact that you're not going to take the mattress out to air it out or wash it like you would at other places, that's why I wanted to go with something a little bit better. Around here we have the toilet, which is kind of a problem. I haven't actually used it yet, and I don't know if I will. I'll keep it in here for a while. I may eventually just use it for storage in that spot, but if you try and sit down on the toilet, this sort of little lip here should have actually been cut off, and another demo or other concept builds of the Skinny Guy camper, Skinny Guy actually does have a section here cut out, but without that cut out here, your legs are kind of forced to be together, which isn't a very effective position for sitting for an adult male, because one leg's up against the wall here, and then the other thigh is kept there. So it's kind of like sitting on the toilet and trying to force your legs to be together. So that's not great. And this bag is where I keep all of my pillows, blankets, sleeping bags, pretty much all the bedding in general. And then in here is normally where I think the water heater and the heating unit for the Skinny Guy camper would be. I'm using it to hold cushions, additional bedding, blankets, things like that. This little shelf up here, if I'd gone with the high-end Skinny Guy camper, is where I'd be able to put a Dometic fridge and a sink cooking combo. I didn't go that route. Given the size of the camper and the tent, I don't see myself ever actually cooking inside or storing the refrigerator in here. The refrigerator I'm not going to keep in here because when I'm on a long overland drive, I want to be able to get to the food for a snack or lunch or putting groceries away when I bought it. I don't have to open up the camper to get food in and out of it on a trip. So in the back of the vehicle or in the back of the truck, it goes with the seats folded down. As far as the sink and cooking surface, I mean, boiling water, all that's going to do is just increase the humidity in the camper, and then that's going to increase condensation as it cools down inside. Or if I end up cooking something, everything in here is going to smell like whatever it is I'm cooking. So all cooking is done outside the camper, but this is a good place to put extra bags or clothes or luggage, anything else you're working on while in the tent. Originally, Skinny Guy was selling the 5.0 camper with a table that mounts here, at least a small table. I didn't get that when the camper showed up. I think I was one of the first people to buy one. I got it back in, I ordered back in January of 2023, and it showed up about middle of February. I asked Skinny Guy about that. They just sort of sent me the table in the mail. Well, they sent it to the shop that did the install for the camper, Overland Van Project, and they just handed it to me. So I guess I'm on my own to figure out how to mount that. You know, not a big deal, I guess, but whatever. As far as everything else here, these little compartments have access to the winches that hold the camper down to the vehicle. That's not something I'm really too happy about. I think there's a better way to do it, with actual braces that mount to the bed of the truck as opposed to just rope that's connecting there, because it's a synthetic line, so it's plastic, and that means that over time the tension and heat and movement is going to wear down on that and stretch it. But having these little compartments are handy in case there's something you want to usually I leave cleaning supplies in here, whether it be wet wipes or towels, anything like that. I keep in those compartments so I can access it from either inside the tent or outside. Let's see here. The tent itself. Skinny Guy, for some reason, decided to use a lot of boat supplies, which I guess is common to some degree because, you know, manufacturers have been making boat parts for a while. The downside is just, I don't know if they worked out long enough for the tent being folded up or whatnot, but it's already starting to get pinched in different areas when it's closed. Here's a few little holes that you'll kind of see shining through there. This little magnet up here is starting to cut into holes as well. I mean, yeah, aside from that, it does its job. You know, having a space in here to be able to stand up and get dressed when it's cold outside or wet outside is great. Another thing that I kind of have a problem with is these zippers don't like to be folded over on themselves. For example, I don't know if we have enough light here or not, but the teeth on the zipper right here is starting to bulge out. So I'll have to get a pair of pliers and push those back in, because right now I can't open that flap to get it to open. So the bed size. This is actually 40 inches wide by 80 inches long, so it's about 2 inches wider and longer than a twin size mattress. So be aware of that. You know, for one adult male, that's probably enough room. For if it's two adults in there, I don't know, you're gonna have to find a good average between height and weight to sort of make it an acceptable sleeping situation. I do know, well, from what Skinny Guys told me, they don't actually have it printed anywhere. It seems somewhat like a liability to me, but the maximum amount of weight you can have in the bed is 600 pounds. The maximum amount of weight you can have standing in the camper is 500 pounds. I don't know if it's a combined situation where you can have, you know, up to 500 pounds of people sitting on the benches here, and then 600 pounds of people on the bed, for a total of 1,100 pounds of people in here, or if it's just 600 pounds max throughout the whole camper. But it is what it is. You know, if I were to score this, it's like a C+, B-, because it's a great idea and it does what it's designed to do. It's just the quality of everything else here, it leaves something to be desired. You know, with a lot of stuff, I mean, I looked up every camper I could find on YouTube, and the issue that I ran into was really just room. I didn't want the go fast camper style campers, because you end up having to climb in like you're in a tree fort. I didn't want to be 6 feet up in the air. I mean, I guess I'm 4.5 feet now, so it's a little bit less. But it goes from that room. I just wanted more space, and this seemed like a cool idea. But when it comes down to the quality of stuff, like the rivets, they're strong, but there's better ways to do it. I mean, you can go with countersunk and flush rivets so that this whole surface is smooth. Skinny Guy decided to use a lot of stainless steel, and you know that stainless steel is great, and these little joints are great out on boats where all you have to contend with is heat, humidity, and seawater. But when you're overlanding, your biggest enemy is dust, and all these little joints are starting to collect dust in them, and that's going to be a problem. So I think the price for this on Skinny Guy is just $15,500, which is pretty expensive given what it's compared to. But then you have to also factor in delivery and installation. So this almost cost me roughly $18,000. Now, when you compare that to the cost of just a Go Fast camper, you know, that's a lot. That's Go Fast, I think, are around 9 or 10. Super Pacific are roughly 13,000, I think, depending on install and shipping that you have to contend with there. But those ones aren't including the goose gear and all the storage stuff that's inside, and that's what you do get here. You do get a toilet, you do get seating surfaces, you get some pre-existing wiring for a few USB outlets and a few lights, and underneath the front in a compartment is a place to put a battery. So you can sort of outfit it for your own power needs if you want to. I haven't really explored that yet, but when you factor in that you actually have a seating surface and seating and storage surface with this camper, I think it's on par with the other campers that are out there. Again, I just wish that there was a little bit more fit and finish put into it. Like, for example, I mean, if these were all countersunk